Do you guys believe that that's really what the lady saw on the plane?
Oh, she saw
Saw
something.
something. She's gone. Look her up. You
I
cannot
know.
find her.
I know.
And then this is crazy. So like she disappeared for months, and then she randomly came out of nowhere and did an interview with
That
like
wasn't her.
CNN, but like people did like a pinging on her location and stuff like that, and her interview took place in the White House. Like her location was from there.
I've heard that it wasn't really her.
Oh yeah,
And like they did like the AI facial recognition, and like features were off, and her voice was a little different and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like the government's been doing that type of like covering stuff up for a while.
Well, they just recently came out and said that it's fully possible for them to clone humans now.
Well, I mean, they just like did the direwolf thing.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
All right. Welcome back to the Trauma Bonding Podcast, episode 3. There we go.
I'll never turn it off. We have a live audience today.
Live studio audience. Oh, goodness. Let me just...
All 2 of our subscribers are here.
Do we even have that many?
Me and my brother.
That's
I
true.
forgot to subscribe.
Wow.
I know.
You're not supporting yourself.
It's okay. I didn't subscribe either.
I'll do it today.
Am I the only one?
You were the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You were the first, and then your brother was second.
Because I'm spreading the word.
Look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you. All right. Whoa. That's like a gong.
Yeah.
Dude. That was dramatic.
So we are currently getting used to these new mics. So if you hear any weird noises, it's fine. Ignore it.
It'll be all right. It'll buff.
It'll buff.
It'll buff.
Ooh, I can add it to my beatboxing. Ready? He can edit that out. It's fine.
I think we'll keep it. It's all right.
We'll keep that.
It's all right.
That's our new intro.
We'll let it stay. Do you want me? You know I can do that.
No.
All right. So anyway, end of the week, finally.
It's Friday. They get it.
We get it.
Unfortunately. All right. So how's your guys' week?
It was quite the week, actually, for me.
Eventful.
But that's me.
Honestly, today, out of all the weeks we've had, wasn't as bad. It was a pretty tolerable week.
Tolerable.
Yeah.
It's a great way to explain it.
I feel like I just had a lot of changes this week.
True.
So just getting used to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you get to like have like a relaxing weekend or a busy weekend?
Pretty, well, a little
Both.
mixture of both.
Yeah.
The noises I was talking about. A little bit of both. Going to a birthday party where I'm going to dress up as fish number 114 from SpongeBob.
And I still have no idea who I'm going to go as. So.
Yeah, so you should be the My Leg guy or Sandy Cheeks.
But you never see that guy. So, like,
Do you have a wheelchair?
I do not.
Who just has a wheelchair?
Some people do. Actually, my nephew does.
Yeah, because
But
he
it's
broke
a
his leg.
It's a little one, so.
That's
I
better.
feel like you could probably fit.
Wait,
You're like
who's-
the
who's
chocolate lady.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's
Chocolates.
chocolate.
That's the one you should go as.
I should. You're
I mean,
right.
my guy's only in one episode. So, like, don't worry about how often they make appearances.
I honestly might do that.
Yeah.
Go to George's birthday.
My
In a
first thought was
wheelchair.
King Neptune.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but that would require setup, and I didn't plan, so.
True.
I could do
True.
Plankton.
You could do Karen.
Just paint yourself black, or back up, green. Green.
Uh-oh.
Controversial part. That's the intro right there.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. You could go as Plankton and Karen.
I could
That would be
the-
funny, but I
yeah.
should be Karen, and you should be Plankton.
Oh,
How
so
about yours? Your weekend? Or
busy.
weekend? It is the weekend today.
It is.
That's
it
all
is.
we've talked about.
We are through the weekend finally. No. It's going to be busy. Tonight celebrating mine and my wife's 5th wedding anniversary.
Which button's the clapping?
Oh, you had it the first time. Thank you.
It would have been real embarrassing if I accidentally pressed the.
So doing that tonight, And then let's see, tomorrow morning my daughter has a soccer game. Well, 2 soccer games, and then it's prom day. So both my boys are going to prom. So we got pictures and all of that good stuff in Grand March, and
Yep.
Busy weekend.
then Sunday's church, as always. So
We'll be there.
you said on the podcast, everyone heard it.
It's proof.
All 2 subscribers
We'll be
heard
there.
that,
Me,
so-
I heard that.
and your brother.
And my brother.
No. So also speaking of my anniversary, so it's today. So I had it planned out all week. The boys had a track meet last night, and so I had it planned out like I'd go to the track meet for a little bit, and then I'd leave to go to a store because my wife was working late; she couldn't go. So calm down, Hallie.
Simmer down, Tammy.
So I'm at the track meet, and like I made sure that I watched like at least like 2 events for each of my sons. Then I texted them. I was like, "Hey, I can't stay the whole time. I need to get to the store, buy your mom an anniversary gift. Like, so do you need anything?" type thing. So they said no, they were good to go. I was like, so I checked with them before I left. I was like, "Do you need anything?" Gave them each some money, left. So my wife, undetectable, wouldn't even know I was doing this. I get to the store, and my son sends a text message to both me and my wife in a group chat, asking a question that would insinuate that I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? So then I had to call my wife because I don't want her thinking, like, why is he not at the track meet? He's supposed to be there. So I was like, hey, like, I'm getting you a gift, like, whatever. Hang up the phone, whatever. And then so we have Live 360, and I have like certain locations set as alerts, like our house and then the boys' school. That way I know like when they, like, all that, whatever. So I'm in the store, and I get an alert that my wife left home. And so I'm like, so I call her, and she's like, hello? I was like, let me guess. You forgot it was our anniversary. You forgot to make a gift. So now you're racing to the store to get me something. And she's like, how did you know? And I'm like,
Well, 5 years
Yeah.
of
5
marriage.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so no. But let's see. This week. Oh, the Pope died.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pope died.
Did you hear about how I forget who exactly said it. Some dude made a book a long time ago that listed like all the upcoming popes that were gonna happen. He stated that like after Pope Francis died, like that's the last
That
pope.
was like the last one. Was that man that wrote that also a pope at one time?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so a pope wrote that about future popes, and like that was the end game.
Yeah, saying after he died, the world was coming to an end.
Scary.
There was
stuff.
another person, wasn't it like Michelangelo or something, that painted all the faces and like all the spots for
Is that the Sistine Chapel?
Yeah.
Is that where it's at?
And then like
Yeah.
there was enough spaces all the way up until Pope
Until
Francis,
Right.
and now there's no more spaces open.
What's it mean, Hallie? What's your thoughts?
On Pope Francis.
Yeah.
Um,
Is he the last pope?
I mean, if there's no picture after him, because isn't it like all the pictures of the popes, and then there's
Yeah.
nothing after him?
Mm-hmm.
I feel
And then there's
like
also that book that listed all of them, like even like the years I think that
Yeah.
they would like be popes.
I don't feel like enough people are talking about how he just was right about all the names.
Like even like years
Right.
too, right?
Yeah, like how is no one talking about how he successfully predicted like hundreds of
Who-
years?
Who is this guy? He was a pope.
Yeah.
He was. I can't remember exactly who it was.
Let's look. Anyway, but yes. So Pope dies. So obviously, like the Catholic Church is going through that whole like I forget what they call it when they're looking for the next pope.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're going through that. Who prophesied all the popes? Let's see. Saint. It looks like Malachi, but it's with an Y at the end. Malachi, Saint Malachi. He was a 12th century archbishop.
He sounds mysterious.
Anyway, yeah. And it contained 112 cryptic phrases, supposedly predicting each pope from Celestine, I don't know if I'm saying that right, to the most current pope. Well, was the most current pope. Huh. But it says most scholars believe that the document is a 16th century hoax. But I feel like even 16th century, though, if you still get it right, like,
That's still a lot of
Yeah.
years.
yeah, like there's still something to be said about that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like the fact that no one is really talking about it at all makes it more suspicious.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people take stuff and run with it with so little, and the fact
Mhm.
that this is like so much and no one's really
Yeah.
feels like it's
But I feel like there's a bunch of like lore surrounding like the Vatican and stuff in general, though.
There's so much lore about the Vatican.
Like it's kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like supposedly there's tunnels underground where they do like rituals and stuff, and people are saying that there's like they do the dark arts. And
There's always some place that rituals take place.
well, I mean, didn't the Vatican originate from Rome? And like the theories are like these tunnels connect to Rome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So like when you say tunnels, like just like little like hand dug tunnels, or like
Some say the Vatican is connected to an entire subterranean network of tunnels stretching beneath Rome, or even secret escape tunnels built centuries ago. These tunnels could be allegedly used to smuggle out documents, high-ranking clergy, or hide contraband and artifacts.
So it's like they're definitely hiding
But
it.
there's
It
also-
has to
why
be
would you
done.
need to sneak documents?
Well, I would assume, like, you know how there's like 50 miles worth of shelving underneath the Vatican where
I've
they
heard
keep all
that,
of
yeah.
their artifacts and stuff like that. If they want to sneak something in, they're probably going to not do it from the Vatican building itself, because a lot of people are going to be watching that.
Yeah,
Like I want to know like why we can't see what's down there.
like only a select few people.
Yeah, something about like a select amount of scholars can go down to watch or look at like specific artifacts. They don't get to look or browse or anything like that. It's more just like, hey, you want to look at this? Okay, we'll
Yeah.
get it set up for you. We'll escort you down here. You can look at it,
So-
and then we'll escort you out.
So who is there anyone allowed to go see all of it? Like
No.
is the Pope?
I don't even know if he is. I would assume.
So
Right.
like, who determines like
Right.
this stuff? Like, who can go down? Like,
I
who's
think
in charge of it?
It was all determined a long time ago. Then everyone's just following these set of rules
Hmm.
now.
I don't get why the
Interesting.
Catholic Church gets to own all of that.
Right.
Well, the Catholic Church is basically just the Roman Empire, just remodeled.
Explain.
After the fall of the Roman Empire, it wasn't necessarily a fall. They just realized that every empire collapses at some point. Like no matter what, like eventually an empire collapses. So they just transferred all their money to the Catholics, gave all of their treasure, all of their artifacts, everything like that to Catholics. And then they created Vatican City. So it wasn't really that the empire fell; it just transitioned into something else with the new name.
And now they control a lot of like religious documents and all that kind of stuff that we can't even see.
From I think they said the artifact started from like the 16th century, which is the same time as that Malachi guy.
Is that where they have the shoal, whatever that
The Shroud of
the shroud?
Turin.
Yes.
I don't think it's down there.
Who has that?
Yeah.
I actually don't know.
I thought it was.
It might be down there. I know they have like crazy stuff down there, like something called the Chronovision. Some dude, some priest, Saint something, in 1958, I think, he insinuated and told the public that he created something called the Chronovision, which allowed people to look at like events from the past. And he was talking about how he's even watched like the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, and that there's potential to even look into the future with it.
That's wild.
So that's one of the things that are supposedly down there.
If you could like look back and see like the past, what would you want to see?
Like,
It's a hard
are we
one.
talking centuries ago or just like
All of past.
all of the past? That's a good one. Before the meteor hit.
I think
And-
seeing Jesus Christ would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe not the crucifixion of him. I feel like that'd be hard to watch.
But like before.
I don't know though. I think like to actually be able to see that though, like might put in perspective like what he actually did for us though.
Yeah.
'Cause, like I feel like for a lot of people it's just a story, but like if you actually like could see it and like
Yeah.
actually like take it all in.
Yeah, because even like I learned recently that the crown of thorns wasn't just like a band. It was more of like a
helmet shape.
helmet shape
Yeah.
with like 3-inch long
Yeah.
thorns on it. And like they found out from like the Shroud of Turin that there was 52 puncture wounds on the skull that were like pretty deep.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And I think they said like too like the crown of thorns, the kind they use like has like toxins in the thorns. So like when it went in, like it would have caused like burning and like swelling and stuff too. It's like almost like the skin like would have formed like around
Yeah. Ooh.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like imagine like having like what's it called? The goggle thingies?
Chronovision.
Chronovision. Like imagine like being able to like to look back at like when God parted like the Red Sea.
Yeah.
or like those kind of
Yeah.
things,
That
right?
would, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Or like the flood, just be
Yeah.
on Noah's Ark.
Hmm. So like if you're using chronovision, do you see it from like the perspective of where you're standing, or like, can you? How does that? I gotta look more into that.
Yeah.
'Cause, like
It
how do you
doesn't-
see?
It doesn't really explain it too much, and all the stuff I looked at, the way I interpreted it was kind of like VR. Like you put on these goggles of some sorts, the sound I talked about, and like you kind of just, you're an observer, kind of like you're watching a movie, but the movie's all around you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was this invented?
I think it was, what did I say, 1958?
In the 50s?
But
Yeah.
like, so we're looking at Cold War almost era
Yeah.
stuff too.
And the Vatican has there's a lot of stuff surrounding the Cold War too.
Just imagine like if that's true, if there's something like that you can like literally like pick any time period. Like, and if they have that and they can prove that like God created the world and it wasn't like a big bang, like that would like revolutionize like everything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That makes you think, like, why wouldn't they share that information?
Well,
What do they have to gain from not doing that?
that kind of ties into everything we've talked about, and just like with they want to turn us away from that. So why would they tell us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like flat Earth.
Flat Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying.
Garden of Eden.
I think you know a lot more about Flat Earth than either of us.
Maybe. I've not dug too deep into it. I just think like it makes too much sense. Like a globe Earth fits like NASA's narrative, which NASA wants to like take God out of a lot of things.
Isn't NASA just basically, it was started by Nazis, right?
I think so. And when it started like for the ocean,
Originally they were exploring the ocean, and then they got to a point where they were just like, never mind.
Well,
So
they
what'd
can
they
only go
find?
so far down. So
But I feel like it's got to be more challenging to go to space than the bottom of the ocean, right? I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
I feel like they found something.
That's
like
what I-
Leviathan or something.
That's
like
what I
the
think so.
serpent.
true. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, it's very surreal, or it
The
was for me
ocean.
when I. Oh yeah.
But go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, NASA in the
Yeah.
ocean. Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, it was just very surreal to think that this could possibly be like Jesus's face that I'm looking at, and it was in like a 3D rendering to where like he was looking left and right, and then like moving his body, and it was very like
So we're talking about the Shroud of Turin.
And AI was able to like,
do a rendering based off the features from the shroud.
yeah.
Have you seen it?
Did you show me? No.
So this one's not the one. Like this one's not moving. This is just like a still image of what they think, and I'll put it on here for those of you that are watching. If you're not watching, like look up Shroud of Turin and like rendering.
Very interesting.
And it is, because usually when you see pictures, it's very similar to
Yeah.
that. And this is what AI is getting from.
And there was a mathematician from like Oxford, I think. He's an atheist, and he wanted to like run the probability of this being Jesus Christ's shroud, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the odds of it not being his shroud was like 1 in 2 billion.
I always love like when like atheists try like their best to like disprove something,
And
and
they
then it
prove-
actually like works against them.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
have you guys watched the movie or read the book like The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel? There's actually a movie now about it too. But he wrote a book like basically his wife had gotten saved, and like he didn't believe in it at all, and so like he was a journalist is what like his like a investigative journalist I think. So like he like made it like his whole life mission like to prove her wrong that like Jesus didn't exist, and he actually like ended up like now he's a Christian, and like obviously like he has a book in this movie and stuff because like he
Yeah.
said basically there's no way that like the Bible's not true, and like he anyway you should look into it.
Have you heard all like the Passion of the Christ, like Jim Krasinski or however you say his last name? There was like a lot of crew members. There was like Muslims and atheists and all kinds of stuff that like throughout the filming process converted because of like everything they saw.
That like happened.
And he was even saying like during the filming, there was multiple. He said he was visited by Jesus Christ like 3 or 4 different times, and like they had conversations about how like how important what he was doing was, and like he just had to like make that sacrifice and like power through. And apparently because of that movie, he ended up having to have 3 open heart surgeries, he
was put through a lot during
he
the
had
movie.
pneumonia a couple different
Yeah.
times because
Yeah.
it took 4 weeks to shoot just the cross scene, and I think the total length of the shooting or filming process was like 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah,
So like almost all of it was just him hanging
right.
basically naked on a cross, like just exposed to the elements. And
Yeah.
apparently he actually like got whipped a couple times. He has a 14-inch scar across
Oh,
his
I've
back.
heard that. Like they
Like they
Yeah,
actually
like,
whipped
They
him.
actually whipped him.
like obviously not on purpose, but like
Yeah.
by some fault of.
Although some of the stuff he says kind of makes me feel strange, just because he kind of makes it seem as if he's telling people he is like Jesus Christ. He's like, my initials are JC. I'm 33. So I just had to do the film. I felt the calling to do the film.
I could see where that'd be like
Yeah.
almost like blasphemous in
Yeah.
a way. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's an appropriate conversation because we just got through Easter, and which the Pope died like what, the day after? Did he
Easter.
die on Easter?
He died on
and they
Easter.
announced it the day.
Yes.
Which I also feel like that's odd,
Yeah.
Yep.
especially when like you could look at like the red heifers and the rebuilding of the temple. Like there's a lot happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Billy Joe, you got to get into that because we've had that discussion, last year?
I think so.
Kind of talking about like everything that's basically leading up to the Pope dying.
Yeah.
And what was the cause of death?
I think it's just old age, right?
Well, like weren't his kidneys shutting down or something? Like he was in the hospital like back in January for like
yeah, didn't he almost die from something?
kidney failure, maybe.
I
don't know. I'll make that up. I don't know.
I
But
couldn't tell you.
anyway, yeah, like I think it's crazy that it happened on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think that like this is like that? Do you think it's the end of like something? Like, do you think something's coming from this?
Yes. I do.
Okay, no hesitation. Are you unsure?
No, I just feel like everything we've talked about and how I personally get when we do talk about these things, and now it's like happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
get right with God.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just hard to like not even ignore, just not to acknowledge all of
Right.
like the prophecies that are being fulfilled. All of the
Right.
things that have said are going to happen, and now they are happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like-
didn't the that river, it turned red
Yep, 2 rivers did.
too?
I've not seen that.
I forget the river.
Yes.
Is the Euphrates still drying up?
Yeah, and they're starting to find
Yes.
statues at the bottom.
Yes.
And doesn't it say in the Bible that there's going to be Leviathan at the bottom of the river?
Not Leviathan. It's like imprisoned like Nephilim.
Nephilim, yeah.
Yeah.
And there are statues that are being revealed at the bottom of it. So
Because like I think there was a guy that like claimed that he had like recordings like on top like near the Euphrates River, and like he was saying like you could hear like chains and stuff like underneath
that.
like the ground and whatnot. Just crazy.
it felt appropriate.
So, and I think too, like if we look at like biblical prophecy or like what the Bible says about end days, like strange like weather patterns and stuff, I think we're definitely seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I think the government controls a lot of the weather, but I mean, doesn't mean that it can't also fulfill that same prophecy.
Right.
True.
Because like we've had like so many tornadoes and stuff like
Yeah.
this year, like comparatively, I think like the numbers are just like drastic,
Yeah.
and like earthquakes and like where they're happening at, and
Fires.
the amount of like hurricanes we've had and
Yeah.
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Everybody better get ready.
Did you guys ever get exposed to the movie Left Behind as a kid?
Not as a
No.
kid.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
Did it scare you?
A little.
Little. Have you watched it?
I haven't.
I think when I watched it though, I was a kid, but I was like a teenager or something like that. So I was old enough to like not necessarily like scare me because I didn't fully understand it, but I was old
Yeah.
enough to like kind of understand it, to be like, oh, that's odd. That's kind of I guess, yeah, a little scared.
Do you know what it is?
No.
So, like, Kirk Cameron, you know who that is, like the actor. He's like a big Christian actor. Basically, he's in this movie, and it's all about like what's gonna happen like after the rapture happens, and so it just shows like the beginning of like the tribulation and stuff. Terrifying. And like that stuff, like growing up in church, we were exposed to. Like, I grew up terrified of like the rapture and like hell and the apocalypse and
with everything going on, should I watch it or?
The one I watched had Nicolas Cage in it.
They made a new one.
That's the one I've seen.
You're so young.
I don't like Nicolas Cage, by the way.
I'm not a fan
I'm
either,
not.
actually.
I like National Treasure. Great movie.
I have legitimately only watched that movie one time, and it was
So good.
as I was going to Washington, D.C. for a safety patrol trip in 6th grade.
Which one?
The original.
There's a second one.
What do you mean a second one?
There's
I've
two
never
national.
heard.
Yeah, there's two national treasures.
Explain.
There's one stealing the Declaration of Independence, and then there's one finding a secret treasure.
Okay, what's the first one? Like the
Declaration-
original.
The Declaration of
Okay,
Independence.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like the
that's-
OG.
But it's not like a remake. It's just like a Nicolas Cage is still the main actor. He's
Yeah,
the same
it's just
guy,
like
just on a new adventure.
No, I watched like the original, like whichever one came out first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one was better.
Watched it on the charter bus going to DC in 6th grade. We thought we were cool. I mean, you know, like you watch on a movie, then you get there and like you're seeing this stuff in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Anyway, speaking of Left Behind, what's your thoughts on Project Bluebeam?
I feel like it's a very real possibility.
Do you know what we're talking about, Hallie?
I don't.
So essentially, Project Bluebeam, right? We're talking about like the end of the world, like rapture, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I was actually just looking that up.
Project Bluebeam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like basically, like, the idea of like a government's gonna fake like an alien invasion,
Mm-hmm.
right? And which I will say, there's been a lot of like more like UFO stories and stuff in the news recently.
And like them confirming like aliens are real.
Yeah, like this, like
Yeah.
was it CIA released documents or FBI, one of the two?
Yeah,
About,
this-
like,
the
confirming-
CIA released an interview with an alien, like actual footage.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, from like the 50s. Now I can't say if it's real or not. It's very blurry. I mean, it's hard to tell, especially with AI anymore and how advanced it is. You can't.
That's true.
You can't
AI
see.
is way too advanced
Yeah.
for our own good.
I can
So
tell you it
there's-
didn't look real, but I wouldn't know what an alien looks like. So
True. Go ahead.
There's Project Blue Book and Blue Beam,
Wait.
and they're both about like U.S. Air Force project. That's just investigating UFOs, and then the Blue Beam project, which is the conspiracy theory. So there is a real one and then a conspiracy.
well, there's documents released by the CIA saying that Project Bluebeam is real. You can go on the some archives,
Yeah.
and like you
Yeah.
can look up Project Bluebeam and it'll have a whole link.
Yeah. So, do you guys think aliens are real?
I feel like it's obviously the government. They have been doing stuff at Area 51 for how many years now? Like,
Yeah.
just everything is leading up to it's the government trying to turn us away from God.
Yeah.
So, like, how come nobody's allowed in these places? It's so top secret. Like, what are you doing there? And then growing up, you always heard there's aliens at Area
Yeah.
51. And then now, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, yeah, they're real. And
Yeah.
then, so I feel like it's obviously something they have created to kind of.
Do you agree with that, Caleb?
In a way, I think aliens are real, but they're not otherworldly beings. I think it's more like demonic and stuff like that. It's other dimensional beings.
That's my thought. Like, so I had years ago, I was young. I had a coworker that like tried to tell me that like in the Old Testament, like when the chariot of fire came down and like took up Elijah into heaven. I thought he was like crazy. He's like that's a spaceship. Like that's what it was. And I'm like, dude, like you're not even like on this planet. But like I think like I agree.
Neither were there aliens.
Shut up. So I do think because like there's been too many stories, and I don't think people are lying where they've had like encounters like with these alien creatures. But like in my mind, like that's just like easily like a demonic being that like they've encountered.
Yeah.
And I think too, like I think if you want to deep dive into like conspiracy, like the Illuminati and the One World Order, and like how deep our government is, like I think they're working with like I don't know if they even know it's demonic. Like they might think it's aliens. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I think it's like demons like even going back to like the days like Noah and like the flood, like the Nephilim, like they've been so integrated like with our population, and so maybe they're like masquerading as aliens and like the government's believing it, but I think it's all purely demonic.
So like the aliens have been here,
Right.
is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But I think like the resurgence of it is like Project Bluebeam. Like they're like making it more known. It's gonna be on the news. You're gonna hear about it that way when the rapture happens, and all these people are just gone all of a sudden. They're like, oh, it was an invasion, right? Like
Yeah.
they came and like took them. Because like if people believe like, oh, it's the rapture, that puts their side on God again, and that's kind of like the whole purpose of like just having an excuse for everything that God does.
And isn't like the whole
Right.
plan behind Project Bluebeam to create like a one world government? Like
Yeah.
to create like an external worldly threat that like
Right.
one government can be like, okay, we're gonna come together. and
Yeah.
we're all gonna fight this to that way they can just have power of the world.
Speaking of which, and I probably shouldn't speak on this because I don't know a lot about it. Have you guys seen that like Donald Trump got a letter of invitation
Yes.
to like the by the Sanhedrin to like some council basically like a one world order, right? Like that's what. Have you seen that?
no.
Yeah, like it just happened like recently.
I've seen very little about it, so I don't know a whole lot. I think the only thing I saw is what you sent me.
Oh, the TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so out of the loop on TikTok, by the way.
You just
Okay.
gotta look up conspiracies.
Yeah.
But like no, like I don't even know how to explain it. Like basically, like, the Sanhedrin like invited him to like join like this council or like this like
Aren't they trying to do like the
Governmental-
Noahide laws?
yeah. So like it's not even biblical. Like these like 7 laws, and like it's coming from like Jewish customs, which of course Jewish people don't believe that the Messiah's come, which is obviously Jesus Christ. And so like their number one law is like you can't worship like a false god. And so for Christianity, in their mind, Jesus Christ is a false god. So it would automatically make like Christian outlawed, and like which we see in the Bible, like Christians will be persecuted and like all that stuff. I'm just saying, I think it's
Wasn't it saying like it could even go as far as like capital punishment, like death penalty?
yeah, the recommendation's beheading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is happening.
He's been invited to it.
Yeah.
I've not heard anything else like since like he's gotten like the actual letter.
Trump's gonna be the next pope.
You heard it here first.
Side
Spoiler
note-
alert, guys. Sorry.
Side note, the actress from Handmaid's Tale, I don't know if you guys have been watching that. So
I've not.
that show is basically what you guys just explained.
Yeah.
So the best friend in the show actually quit the cast because she was like becoming traumatized from, and just said that everything is like starting to feel too real.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
basically a lot of people on social media are saying like this is happening right now
Yeah.
in America.
I'm a firm believer that the government gives us like little, I don't want to say they do it in the sense of like hints and like warning us about stuff, but I feel like it's more about the getting us desensitized to things and like opening up
Absolutely.
our brain. Like we're watching it on a show, we're getting used to it. So then when it happens in real life, it's not as foreign to us.
Right.
Like in Black Mirror. The very first episode of the new season, it starts off with the teacher talking about artificial bees that the government's making. And like right now in the world, the government's going around and like people are like trying to save bees because their population has been declining for years.
Right.
And the government's going around to these people that are trying to help bees and they're taking the bees away and killing them. So like in my mind, my first thought was, this is the government dropping a hint that like this is their plan. They're trying to get rid of the bees. That way they can make their artificial bees and make profit from it.
Well, I firmly believe the government and Hollywood work together closely.
Yeah, like we know like NASA has said that in movies they use real footage from NASA. In some movies, like Interstellar,
Still haven't watched it.
great movie, one of the best movies of all time. But yeah, apparently some of those scenes were like real footage from NASA, according to NASA.
Like I realize this might be TMI, but like from like growing up and like loving like horror films, like scary movies, and seeing all the blood and gore, like to the point of like when my wife's had C-sections for our children, like not that blood and gore bothers me anyway, but like I can watch the C-section and like in my mind like it's nothing new because I've seen it so much on movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing like I've seen like photos of like true like car accidents and stuff, and like I'm like movies are so realistic now that like you're like,
You are being desensitized.
See, I still
Yeah.
can't. I can't. I don't even like to see people get hurt. I can't watch people fighting without getting uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh, the first episode of Black Mirror.
It messed me up. It
I've
did.
never watched Black Mirror.
It was basically like the whole plot was this lady had a brain tumor, and there was this company that came in and was like, we can make you, like, we can basically 3D print you part of your brain that needs the tumor removed, and then put that in there. But it requires signal from like towers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like she randomly started like losing service when they like left the county and just shut down. Or like she would randomly start like saying ads, but like she had no control over it. So there was a kid that was very insecure about his shoes because he comes from a poor family. So she had no control over it. She walked by and was like, if you want new shoes, go to blah, 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 blah.com and stuff like that. But at the end, I don't want to spoil it. No one's watching. It's fine. Basically, the husband killed her because she was so miserable. And he like felt bad.
It's really sad because you also left out a big part.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. And this is basically like the only thing to keep her alive
Yeah.
and not be brain dead. So now he starts going to like extremes to make money, like doing those, what is it? Like the weird website where you like do crazy stuff to make money. Like people will be like, you know,
Like drink your own pee.
yeah,
Or
just
like
crazy
and then
stuff.
it spirals
Exhibitionist stuff.
down
Yes.
quickly to where he's removing body parts, putting things in places they shouldn't go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And she has no clue about any of it until like it's very notable. Like he's missing teeth. He's lost a lot of weight.
Ugh.
He's
My mind flashed back to the Pain Olympics. That was the big thing. I was in
Do
junior
not.
high. We're gonna.
I saw one thing and it involved a cheese grater and
Oh,
I'm scarred
no.
for life.
No. Okay, moving on.
Moving on quickly with hate.
So I think this is the letter that Donald Trump received from that Sanhedrin.
Yeah.
So it's from the Nascent Sanhedrin to President Donald J. Trump. And it's from, so this is actually back from February 12th. And it's like, Dear Honorable President Donald Trump, may Hashem, the Creator, bless you and your nation. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for bringing faith to the forefront of America and global culture through the establishment of the Faith Office in the White House. So they make it sound like very good, like, hey, like you're doing good stuff.
Yeah.
But then it says, like, your recognition of the importance of religion in public life is a step toward restoring moral values and spiritual leadership in the world. And then it goes into, like the belief of one God and one first man and one basic law. But then it goes into, like, common code and, like, a universal ethic common code. And, like, the 7 laws of Noah. Like, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this at all, actually. Why are Jewish people trying to speak on like Christianity? Because they don't even believe in our Messiah. Like they don't believe in Jesus Christ. I don't know. I feel uneasy about it.
There's a plan.
there's
That's
a
why.
motive for sure.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, not a fan.
Unfortunately, people are very smart.
So what do you think this looks
Yeah.
like then if he goes and like what's the outcome?
I think at first it would result in a lot of strikes and a lot of
But would it though?
So like but what's their plan? As far as
Well,
like,
I think like if you just look at it on a very surface level, it sounds really good, right? Like we're gonna like practice morality and like have like a universal like moral code. But then like if you look at like the fact that like it can outlaw Christianity and like capital punishments, like the punishment for it, like
that's where the riots would start to happen. Like initially, people would probably not see too much going on, and like a lot of people would assume it's a good thing, and there'd probably be a huge divide in our country to where it's like these people are very for it, these people are very against it.
yeah.
And then eventually, it's going to get to the point where like people are losing family members, people are losing friends, part of their community, and stuff like that. Churches are getting shut down, and then I think that's where people are going to start saying like, okay,
But
we got to stand up for this.
They've been doing a lot of weird stuff at Mount Sinai. Anyway, like I don't know if you guys are caught up on that, like rewriting the 10 Commandments and stuff,
Isn't it Mount
like
Sinai?
for the earth and like all this.
Isn't that the one with like all the seeds? No,
I don't think so.
am I thinking of a different mountain?
I know what you're talking, like the vault.
Yeah,
I don't think so. No, so Mount Sinai in the Bible is like where Moses went and met with God, and like he
Okay,
gave him the 10 Commandments and the burning bush and all that happened on Mount Sinai. But like now, like they're almost like making mockery of it because like they went and like rewrote the commandments like for the earth, like to like it was commandments like to like restore the earth, like meaning like environmentally, like you know,
Yeah.
like obviously Christians believe like the earth's gonna be destroyed, like we know that's the end game, like at the end of all of it.
But they're trying to make
Make it more about like the earth and
Yeah.
protecting earth and so their beliefs is the prohibition of idolatry, worshiping anything other than the one God. And obviously to the Jewish people, that's God, but it's not Jesus Christ, who the Christians believe was God incarnate, like that.
Yeah.
Prohibition of blasphemy, cursing or disrespecting God. So in their mind, if Jesus wasn't God and we're calling him God, that's blasphemous to God.
Yeah.
So that's also against the law. I don't know. I don't like it.
I know I don't trust it.
Nope.
Don't like it. Don't like it. All right, Caleb, what else you got for us? We'll probably
Ooh.
deep dive into this.
Yeah.
Ooh, we can get some good stuff going. Have you guys heard about a lot of the stuff regarding CERN?
So CERN's the thing like they fired up. When did like semi recently, like not super recently,
I
but
think it was 2012.
it's not. No, 2012.
No.
I feel like it like within like the last couple of years they like either like cranked it up or like turned it back on or
It was activated initially first in 2008
okay.
and then again in 2012.
Something happened with it after that. I'm going to look. But anyway, go on with your thoughts while I look this up.
A lot of people say that like they're like trying to either summon demonic entities or like open up portals to parallel dimensions to like welcome things in, or even like a lot of people say that like to let us out too.
Out to what?
I don't know.
We're here for a reason. I don't think we should play with that too much.
Yeah. Some claim the scientists don't fully understand what they're doing and they could accidentally let something in or let us out. This got even more attention after CERN physicists casually said that the LHS could potentially open a parallel universe.
I feel like no, we don't need that.
No.
It was restarted April 22nd of 2022.
Oh, and a lot of people also talk about the Shiva statue that's outside of it, which is supposedly
Yeah. Okay, I've heard about that.
like a something about a demonic force or something like that. It worships that person or that demon.
Right. And what's it called? Because like she's like a specific demon of something or
The god of
goddess.
destruction and rebirth.
Oh yeah, cool.
Interesting.
We like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Did you hear me? The CERN was restarted in 2022.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And it says that's run number 3, and that's going to continue until July of 2026. Not like
Don't people also say that like CERN causes Mandela effects, like the particle accelerator?
I think people have that thought. Yeah.
Yeah, like the last time they ran it, then everyone started like freaking out about the Berenstein Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like Fruit of the Loom and stuff like that. The cornucopia.
But the Fruit of the Loom was debunked.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it proven that it was?
It used to have a cornucopia. It was some type of like copyright. Like they got sued.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
Really?
The lady that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it her? Do you know who got sued?
No, so like I think the guy who designed it, like I don't know if like copyright something ran out or whatever, and they were still using it, and like it was like some copyright thing, and basically they weren't allowed to use it anymore, and they got sued, and like they lost the case, and so therefore they had to kind of like erase it from their history.
So why were they being so like top secret about it? I feel like
I don't know if like they
they
could have got
wouldn't-
sued again. Like I don't know.
right.
Maybe it's because like being top secret about it brought attention to it.
But then there was also some lady, like I just recently saw this, I think on TikTok, that like she was digging into that again, and she found, I don't know if it was a patent or something of theirs, and like it described the logo, and it said like in a cornucopia. So like it just like, so that actually was a thing.
Yeah.
They denied it.
Yeah.
Do you have a Mandela effect that you believe, or you think like 100% is
Yes.
true? Which one?
E.T.
E.T.
So you've seen E.T., right?
I mean, like when I was a kid.
He
Yeah.
says,
But what? Hold on.
what does
What?
he say?
What does E.T. say?
Don't do this to me.
When he
when he-
wants to leave, what does he say?
Yeah. His famous phrase, like the one thing everyone
I
knows he
don't
says.
know. I watched it when I was like 5. Is it
E.T.
phone home?
Okay, wait. Does he say this? I'm going to give you two options.
I said
Does he say E.T. or does he say E.T. phone home?
Yeah, phone home is what I said.
No, he doesn't.
Well, now he does.
Apparently, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I could swear that he does, though.
Actually,
Like that was like probably not you. You're too young. But that was a big thing. Like when we were kids, like people, like,
Ages.
Yeah.
kids would like reenact that.
yeah, E.T. phone home.
Yeah.
Like he wants to go home.
I feel like that's a very popular phrase, too. Like,
Yes. So I'm going to try and look it up.
Wasn't there other? Well, the one like Star Wars thing. Like he never said like Luke, I'm your father. That's
Yeah.
one of them.
I could have swore he said that, too.
I'm trying to think if there's any Mandela effects. Like I like am a diehard believer of.
My main one is the E.T. one.
See, I never watched that enough to like be like certain on my thoughts, but I thought it was phone home, but
Yeah.
I think it's because I saw like kids like doing that all the time,
Yeah.
like when we were kids.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
Us millennials will speak to that one.
I just heard noises and it freaked me out.
Are you watching the scene?
I am.
He said phone home,
He said it.
I don't know what I'm talking
but
about.
is that when he did the finger thing?
No.
So maybe they're confusing it,
So
Does he say it multiple times and people are just getting...
right? So that wasn't when he did the finger thing.
no.
So maybe when he does a finger thing, he doesn't say it,
Yeah.
and people are just
This
like
is when
taking a
he
mix-
This is the
Mixture.
problem with TikTok.
mm,
Because, like, you can't get all of the information ever.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
You just get bits and pieces and,
really
like, what
can't.
people want you to know.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's all trendy. So it's trendy to say, like, oh, this is a Mandela effect. But, like,
Yeah, and I feel like some stuff on TikTok is purely rage bait. Like they just want you to get
Yeah.
upset about it.
some people are really smart about it, though.
Well,
Like, as much as I dislike the Paul brothers, I find... I don't,
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah.
very smart. Like, they do stuff intentionally to make people mad. Like, recently,
yeah.
I saw a video of both of them jumping off of a yacht, and they were both holding a beer, and they left them in the water. That was intentional. They knew people were going to drop a bunch
Well,
of
yeah.
comments saying,
It's free PR.
yeah, so, like,
Because that's the thing, like good views or bad views, it's still
it's
money.
still views.
Yeah, you still get paid for it.
Yeah.
here's what I'm wondering. If somebody watched E.T. on like a streaming service and it doesn't say it on there now, because this video was uploaded like 13 years ago.
Maybe. 'Cause, like, I
So-
like Disney will go back and make changes to their movies
Right.
like on Disney Plus and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's what happened.
It's possible. I don't know. What are the other Mandela effects that are like even credible? Like Shazam, what not like a big one. That like was it Sinbad? Is that his name?
Simba.
Sinbad.
Sinbad.
I don't know. Anyway. I don't know.
Wait, Shazam, whatever.
Never
How do
mind.
I know? How do I not know? Do you know
Some
Shazam?
classic Mandela effects. It originated from Mandela.
Right.
Uh,
Which I did. I was one of the ones that thought he died.
Yeah.
Like I was
people-
sure that he died.
It's people saying that he died in the 1980s in prison, but he actually died in 2013.
Yeah, no.
The Berenstain Bears, Mirror Mirror on the Wall. The real line is Magic Mirror on the Wall.
See, that's another one. Like, where did that come from?
Right.
The Luke, I am your father.
Mm-hmm.
The Monopoly Man. I'm a firm believer that he had a monocle.
Yeah, he did.
I'm a firm believer that people are getting him mixed up with the Pringles can.
Right. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the Peanut guy,
Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut.
He
Wait, does the
also-
Pringles guy have one?
I don't know who the Pringles guy is.
What?
Don't be ageist
Is he?
again.
Wait, is he still on the Pringles cans?
I think it's just like isn't it a smiley face?
Oh yeah, just the circle face with like the.
Am I insane? No,
Wait,
didn't
look-
Pringles? I'm trying. My internet's loading.
Here.
Oh, maybe I'm just dumb.
Isn't it just like the white face with?
Now it is, but has it always been?
I don't know.
And no, this could be me just being.
Okay, does Kit Kat have a dash in the middle or not? Is it hyphenated?
I never really paid attention.
No.
It is not, but people say that it was.
Okay. Chick-fil-A is another one too, isn't it?
How is Tunes spelled in Looney Tunes? Is it Toones or Tunes?
It's
Tunes.
Okay.
Oh.
You guys
thought OO,
Yeah.
all right.
so you were wrong.
The Mandela effect is that it was
I was
OO,
wrong.
but now
It was OO. Because I used to watch Baby Looney Tunes all the time.
I remember it as UNES.
Yeah. See, that's
Hmm.
it's yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Pringles man now is just like a little mustached
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
but like he used to like. So I would have swore he had a monocle. So that's how Mandela effects get created. Okay.
Does Febreze have 2 E's in it at the end or 1? Or in the middle?
No, it has. Okay, so I always thought it did.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, and I went and checked a can at my mom's house, and it only has 1. And I don't know how you get the word Febreze with only 1 E.
Yeah, I don't
See,
get it either.
this is where people are getting stuff mixed up again. Because right here it's TOON.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, say that again?
On Looney Tunes?
Yeah. Tiny Toons.
Oh, Tiny. So
Oh.
Tiny Tunes is
So-
OO,
I think that's where a lot of them come
but
from.
Looney
Yeah.
Tunes is
Is-
TU.
It's
Yeah.
just like little discrepancies here and there to where like there is
Yep.
2 different words, but like people
Yep.
are combining them. But
And I
these
think they
ones-
get loony, the LOO, and the
Yeah.
Yeah.
get
These ones are
mixed
kind of
up.
interesting. New Zealand was north of Australia. Many remember it as being northeast instead of southeast. I don't
couldn't even
know.
tell you where New Zealand is right now.
South America used to be directly below North America, but now people say it's now more to the right. Which it is more to the I don't ever remember it being directly below.
I do.
Do you?
Wait, South. Well,
Well, like
don't-
when you look at like maps, it's going to be a little different because they
And
shape
yeah.
maps differently.
yeah. I don't know.
Some pop culture Mandela effects. C-3PO had a silver leg.
I don't know anything about Star Wars.
I don't remember that at all. Is it Sex in the City or Sex and the City?
And the Pringles guy used to look really weird. Do you guys know what the Pringles guy's name is? The mascot?
Terry.
Julius Pringles.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. And he used to look
Julius.
really scary.
King Julian.
What is that?
Ew.
Like, what?
He looks like a clown with a mustache.
Oh my gosh.
There's not as many Mandela effects as I thought there was.
I feel like a lot of them are debunked.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like you wanted to dive more into the Vatican. Am I wrong?
There is a lot going on with the Vatican. Especially when you talk about like the tunnels. I barely kind of talked about it, about how they
I feel like there's too many things in our society that has tunnels that we are not allowed to be in.
Yeah, like this is even proven recently. Have you heard about the city under Los Angeles?
Well,
Are we
like,
talking like Tartarian stuff or like
I know like there is a literal city under there. It's mainly for
I've
like
heard.
companies to manufacture stuff. But
that
like
freaks me out for some reason. I don't like that.
like it's an actual city with
So-
businesses lined up down it, and it used to be a mining facility.
Crazy fact, the lyrics from Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers talks about that.
Really?
And this song came out, I was like little when
Yeah.
the song came out.
Hmm.
And it's talking about Hollywood and like
Wait,
all
what
the
are they
corruptness.
manufacturing down there?
Well, there's a bunch of different companies. Like they buy
Didn't
a
they
plot,
say that Diddy's house has tunnels under it?
yes.
probably
Did they
would make
connect to?
that would make the Vatican
Dude, imagine.
under the ocean.
But apparently like reptilian people
Mm-hmm.
and all sorts of crazy stuff is said to be down there.
I know like the stuff that they've released that they said is down there. The only I can look it up, but the one I remembered was that it was like servers because it's underground. There's oopsies. There's like a obviously the temperature stays the same, so it's like a
Right.
perfect environment for
Right.
like supercomputers and stuff. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff down there.
Hallie, correct me if I'm wrong, because you lived in California. I always was like taught that like houses in California didn't have basements. Like they were like really uncommon because of like stability and stuff.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had a house with a basement
like-
when I lived there.
If you can't have basements, how do you have a whole city under a city?
You know, this is interesting about Los Angeles is that like half of California used to be a lake and they intentionally drained it. They put up a dam and drained it into the ocean. And now like there's all these droughts and wildfires and all this stuff. But like way back when,
So
a
they
long time ago, it used to be basically the world's largest lake.
They did it to themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I want to know why.
Mm.
Like, why would you drain all of that?
Yeah.
It's a part of their agenda,
What agenda?
What agenda?
you know?
Explain.
I just feel like, I don't know, the Illuminati and everything that's like played out so far with our government
Mhm.
and other governments, well,
Why
leaders.
why
around
do
the
you
world.
think,
This is
and maybe it's not, maybe it's just our perspective because we live here. It seems like the American government seems to be a root of a lot of this.
Absolutely.
Why? Why the American government?
I want to say the Illuminati, like going way back.
But that
to the
even goes
beginning
back
of
to like
time.
Freemasonry and all that, which
yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
is
But-
older than.
But who's to say the American government is run by America?
Well, it's
True.
probably not.
Like who's like it could just be a big old distraction.
Hmm.
Maybe there already is a one world government and we just don't know it.
I think it's what the Illuminati is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Isn't Illuminati just the Knights of Templar? Like from way back ago?
I've heard that.
Where like
yeah.
that's where it originated, were these knights that like gathered around the round table
Yeah.
and like they seek to create the one world order,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hmm.
This is interesting though. Elon Musk's it's called a boring company, is what it's called.
Okay, I got it now. At first, I was like, I'm good.
He's building underground transportation tunnels under Los Angeles.
Yes,
But like
I heard of
it's
that.
rumored that these tunnels are going to a lot of different places and that there's like reptilian people underground and he's like helping them to be able to travel around the world because like they live there and they can't go anywhere because there's no tunnels to anywhere else.
I'm not a fan of that.
Do you guys believe that that's really what the lady saw on the plane?
Oh, she saw
She
something.
saw something. She's gone. Look her up. You
I
cannot
know.
find her.
I know.
And then this is crazy. So like she disappeared for months and then she randomly came out of nowhere and did an interview with
That
like
wasn't her.
CNN, but like people did like a pinging on her location
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and her interview took place in the White House.
Mm.
Like her location was from there.
I've heard that it wasn't really her.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah, no,
didn't-
and like they did like
No.
the AI facial recognition and like features were off and
Yeah.
her voice was a
Yeah.
little different and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like the government's been doing that type of like covering stuff up for a while.
Well, they just recently came out and said that it's fully possible for them to clone humans now.
Well, I mean, they just like did the direwolf thing,
Yeah.
which is insane to me. Like, there's a reason that thing went extinct. How about we
Yeah.
just like let it be?
Now they're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth
No, it's already scheduled.
and the saber-toothed tiger.
Why? Why do we need that?
Well, I get the woolly mammoth, but none of the other ones, because they're saying that like from just them walking around in Antarctica and like packing down the ice and the snow, it's gonna do something to reduce like CO2 emissions or something along those lines, to where like global warming is gonna like decrease. Like stuff.
But do you believe in global warming?
I don't know what I believe.
When it comes to that.
Yeah, because there's like so much floating. I think like obviously humans have an imprint on the Earth.
Well, yeah, but if our worldview, our I'll speak for me. If my worldview is that the world's going to end anyway, it's inevitable. It's going to go up in flames. Like,
True.
Mm-hmm.
how do we know it's just not like already like
It's just heating
just
up from the fire.
steps? Like,
I know.
I mean, like,
keep
why
making
are
a
we
lot of
putting
noise
so
over
much
here.
money and
Sorry.
like so much effort into like saving? Like, I'm all like, obviously we need to get trash out of the ocean, like that kind of stuff. But like all these like climate agreements and stuff, like, I don't know. I'm thinking like, if we already know what the end game is, and granted, not everyone has the same worldview. Like, I understand that, like, on a
Well,
grand scheme,
I
but
also think like a lot of stuff like that, like global issues, are meant to just divide, to create conflict,
sure.
to like have one group of people say this and to have the other one say this. That way, no one's focused on like a real issue.
I'm jumping. But back to the direwolf. How many failed attempts did they have before they finally got a good one?
That's a good point.
And like, they didn't even announce that they had the direwolf till it was like what, 6 months old,
Yeah.
right? So like, what if they already have like little like woolly mammoths, but like something went wrong with them? It's like they're not like releasing it yet. We're gonna have like some like mutated woolly mammoths like going through this place.
It's got like curly red hair. I don't know.
No, I just like, I think there's a reason those things aren't with us. And like,
Yeah.
why not something cool like a dinosaur?
I don't want dinosaurs.
Like the small ones, right? Like not like the.
Like a cool, like,
Massive
chill
ones.
dinosaur. One we could keep as a pet or something.
Do you believe in what science says about dinosaurs?
In regards to what?
Just
It's like that they
their
were
size,
here.
what they were.
I think we don't know the full story.
Have we ever? Like I'm saying, we like we're archaeologists. Have they ever found like
We
a
are.
fully intact, like skeleton, or is it just like all like pieced
Yeah.
together? They have.
Not very many, I don't think, but I think they have. Of a T-Rex, right? Am I crazy?
No.
Or am I just thinking of Night of the Museum?
I mean, like a lot of museums like have like the replicas or whatever, but like, have they ever truly dug up a fully like
I don't-
together
I feel like we
skeleton?
would know about
Or is
that.
it like just like pieces and like, oh, this
Yeah.
fits here and this fits here?
We're about to find out.
Well, that's if we also believe what the internet tells us.
It's
Right.
also if the internet works.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Is it still raining outside? Oh yeah, we're not getting internet. That's not happening today.
Yeah. For anyone that might potentially listen to this that's not from anywhere rural, we don't ever have Wi-Fi.
No.
Do you feel like chickens really came from dinosaurs? Like they were a type of dinosaur?
It's hard to say. Like, it's hard to think about that, like, comparison-wise. Like, how does one thing go from this to this?
Right.
You know?
But I mean, if
Because
you
even, like, the diets of them, like, dinosaurs were carnivores, chickens are not.
but if
Not
we
all
look
of
at
them.
so if you look at like a T-Rex, right? Like
Mhm.
doesn't it make more sense that would be like the structure of like a chicken? Like it has its
Yeah.
two main legs, its little tiny arms with like wings, like
If T-Rexes
I think they're
fly,
fully I think they're dragons if I'm being completely honest.
That'd be cool.
Dragon.
Would
I
you
mean,
ride
the
it? Would you
chicken-
ride a dragon?
Absolutely.
Don't even. If a size of a T-Rex dragon came down here that was untamed, you didn't know, you're not hopping on that thing.
You're
There's no
right.
shot. I wouldn't even ride.
If I was able to, like a Targaryen, absolutely.
Would you name it Drogos?
No,
Yeah, you would. Don't lie.
probably.
No, I don't know. Like I remember like when I was a kid, because like the topic of dinosaurs is like a source of contention, like when it comes to, like Christianity and people's beliefs, because like they don't understand like how it lines up like with the flood and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember like a long time ago, a guy came to our church and like spoke on like how dinosaurs in the Bible lined up. I was legitimately like 5 years old. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
Basically, the only thing I took away from it was like, because you know science tells us like dinosaurs happened at this time, they went extinct, and then humans came along. Well, obviously Christianity doesn't believe that creation was created like within the 7 days that God created creation. So like he was just like the only takeaway is like obviously dinosaurs had to be here when humans were here, and so like then what happened? Which I mean
Right.
it could have been the flood. I don't know.
Maybe like the asteroid caused the flood.
Maybe. Right. I don't know. And then I think it's hard too because like even like if you have a Christian worldview, and you look at like how like scientists and archaeologists and all that like and paleontologists whatever like how they age things is all like on like sediment of rock and stuff. But if the whole world flooded, it rained for 40 days 40 nights, the waters lasted and it all settled down, like nothing's going to be in order as it should be.
Yeah.
It's like once again Christian worldview, like you're not even looking at it realistically. Which now they're coming out and saying like, because like didn't they find like a dinosaur bone that had like still like flesh on the inside, like it was still soft?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. I know they found a embryo or an egg of a fully intact dinosaur recently.
Oh, then they're cloning them bad boys.
Yeah.
I think it was a T-Rex too, actually.
Huh.
Which I feel like
How
is
do you just find that?
right.
Or did they?
Imagine your only job is just to dig.
I would actually love that.
Or dinosaur eggs?
That would be
like-
awesome. Maybe.
But
I'm
no, I
weird.
think even too, like when I was looking up about like there was still soft tissue, I think it's a dinosaur bone, which then obviously debunks like that they're millions and millions of years old and they couldn't have existed with other things. Like that just doesn't make sense. And I was looking into that, and like I think there was even like articles like on like they've looked at like different sediments now, like rock layers, and like in what science has taught for years of like being like this like the so and so period or whatever. Like the fossils they found together couldn't have actually been together if science was true, because like it's different time periods. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't have existed at the same time.
That's the thing. Like when scientists or like whatever organizations that are government facility or like
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
it's hard to trust anything.
Well, and I mean, you got to think too, like, science started by people just trying to find the best reasoning for something.
Yeah.
And it's
And
always
just,
changing.
if some
too.
people agree to, like, okay, then this is what it is.
Yeah.
And it got put in a book, and now we call it, like, fact. But,
It's changing always.
and actually, science is always confirming what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Like, there's been so many things, like, biblically that, like, the Bible or that science now backs, like, as truth, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we skipped around, like, on a lot of conspiracies today.
Yeah. For anyone wondering, still hasn't loaded.
We're not getting internet. I can hear the rain outside. We're not getting internet.
Yeah.
But what were you looking up?
Oh, it actually popped up the second you said that. Short answer, no.
No what?
No one has ever found a complete dinosaur skeleton.
See.
I was gonna say, I feel like
But
it's
extremely
always
close.
been
They've been extremely close.
bits and pieces.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So how do we know that some of what they found wasn't like a dragon's tail
True.
bones and like it's not?
Yeah. Who determines that? Oh, this was a dinosaur.
Right.
Like,
What? Okay.
Right.
Here's a question that I heard on TikTok at some point that I actually want an answer to. So, what is a dinosaur? Like, technically speaking, what is a dinosaur? An animal that's gone extinct, or is it an animal that was alive during a specific time period? Like, what is a dinosaur? Like, I know when you say that, you think, oh, T-Rex is a dinosaur. Okay, but like, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay, so when I say like feline is like cat, lion, stuff like that. Is dinosaur a broad term for a group of animals?
Well, yes.
Okay, so it's a specific type of
yeah,
animal.
because there's like a
It's like
dinosaur,
a-
and then
a
there's
species,
a
right?
T-Rex and a raptor, and
So
yeah.
then wouldn't technically still like alligators, crocodiles, and turtles be dinosaurs?
Well, don't they say that?
Do they? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering, like, are certain birds like bred down from dinosaurs? Like, you saw the ostrich, right? Like, that thing.
I don't
Yeah,
trust.
that thing
be.
pecked my phone.
That was a cool video.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't trust big birds.
I-
No.
I'm not scared of much. I recorded that video because my wife's terrified of birds, especially big ones. It pecking my phone at the end was just like a little added bonus for the
Yeah.
video.
It was like perfectly in the camera too.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think it thought my camera lenses were like eyes or something.
Yeah.
It was going for those.
Like the way that video was set up was perfect because like he was over here, then looked over at you,
Yeah.
and then like slowly made his way without breaking eye contact, and then just gave you one little peck.
yeah.
No, I don't trust big birds at all. I don't know
It
why.
was kind of sketchy.
Something about them, they just give me the wrong vibe.
And it's how fast they can run, too.
I just feel like they
you
want
can't
chaos.
Oh,
outrun
you can't outrun an ostrich.
No.
If you kick it hard enough, you can. I don't condone kicking ostriches unless it's chasing you.
But no,
You can
I feel like
kick
to get a
ostriches.
good kick, you have to like brace yourself. If you're running away from an ostrich,
True.
Yeah.
you're not getting a good kick in.
Okay, so way off topic. Do you think you could take an ostrich in a fight? One-on-one, locked in a room?
Yeah.
This big?
Yeah.
You think so? I don't think I
What
could.
would you do? Would you,
Grab
like,
its neck.
yeah.
But
I
then
was
what about its
thinking.
feet? It's stomping on you.
It can, like, bring its feet up and claw at you.
Yeah.
I feel like I can endure some pain of being clawed in the time it would take to choke it out.
So you'd have to tackle it and then,
Put that bad boy in.
yeah, in a chokehold until it just passes out.
Okay, so another question. What's the like largest animal you think you could take in a fight? I don't know why I'm on this kick right now.
Largest animal
Yeah, I want to
that
know.
we could take on in a fight. Like I could easily like take
wanna-
on like a. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I want to know your guys's because I.
Do you have an answer?
No.
Like I feel like I could easily take on. Are we talking just size?
Yeah.
Like there has to be like some big dumb animal that like doesn't really do anything for itself.
True. Okay, let's focus on more like just predators.
If I'm being real, honestly, probably none.
A cat.
I feel like I could. I feel like if I got some adrenaline pumping, I could probably take out like a bobcat or like
Oh,
something
yeah.
in that size for sure.
could
Okay,
take
so
those
like
out.
a smaller. I thought you were talking like more about big, like.
No, I'm not gonna win against a lion.
No.
I don't know. David in the Bible killed a bear and lion with his bare hands, so he also killed a giant though too. So like,
Yeah.
I think it depends on like bravery too. Like, how do you respond in those situations? Me, I would panic. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
I'm taking out a lion.
You would be on the ground.
Yeah, I'd pass
You'd be
out.
dead before it got to you.
Right.
That's a good point too, though. Like how you respond to things.
Yeah,
Because
and
like,
your knowledge of that animal probably would help.
yeah,
Yeah. Or just like your instinct.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like an alligator, right? Like as long as you get
I
on
could
them at
take-
the right.
I could take an alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, can you
feel
take it? Like,
you could?
I feel like I could.
I feel like I could stop it, but like, then what?
What
Like
if
you
it
have
starts-
its mouth
Yeah,
clamped
how are you
down.
gonna kill it?
Then what?
That's
Like,
good.
what if it starts rolling?
Can you cover its nostrils so it can't breathe? Like at the end.
Well, and eventually you're gonna get tired. Like, you're gonna get weak, and
Yeah.
then if it starts rolling you, like, then you're done.
See, now if I have a knife,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I could take a lot more.
A what?
Okay,
a
this
knife.
is just
Well,
bare
that-
hands.
yeah.
This is bare hands.
That ups the ante, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I could take an alligator then. Cause how am I gonna take it out?
Yeah, no. I feel like we could subdue it long enough to get away from it.
But if we're locked in a room,
Oh, yeah,
one
no.
person walks out. Well, one thing walks out.
Hmm.
I feel like I feel like
Probably
I
a
could take a
deer.
shark. I feel like I could take a shark.
I don't know. Have you ever seen like two deer like the rutting season? Like that.
Deer will stand up and punch you.
True.
They will. They do the whole.
And
That was so
Sorry.
loud.
I didn't know this at a gravesite, that they'll, especially in packs, like, they'll take you. And I'm like,
Did you say a grave site?
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like-
So I was at a
cemeteries?
grave site, and I'm walking up trying to get a video because I'm like,
Is this a personal experience or something you
Yes.
looked up?
wait,
No.
okay, no, tell me
this is
all
a
about
personal experience. So last time I went to California, me, my sister, and an old friend were just visiting. So my sister's friend's sister was buried there. So, like, we're just walking around, whatever. And I'm coming up around by the building, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many of them, look. And they're just like all stopping and looking at me, but they're letting me like walk up close to them. So I'm like getting my phone out trying to get a video, and my sister goes, Hallie, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to get a video. And she's like, do you want to die? I was like, I mean, well, I'm already here, so.
Wait, how did you open that story? What did she say?
I
They
said
would
a
what?
deer.
But they would what at a
You
gravesite?
said they will attack you at a gravesite?
You didn't say attack. What did you
What?
say?
I don't know what I said. I was saying, because you're like, they'll
Stand up and punch you. is
stand
what
up
he
and
said.
punch
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
And then that's when I try to like go into the story of, I was at a gravesite, and I came up on a bunch of them, and I didn't know that they would attack you.
Oh, yeah.
You try
yeah.
to get up too close.
Mhm.
And I'm talking, there's like 8, 9, 10 of them. And I was like,
Hmm.
from you to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was up pretty
Yeah.
close.
It says that like there's no scientific evidence that they're more aggressive at grave sites specifically because they're grave sites.
I don't-
But it does say that deer like quiet, low traffic areas, and a lot of the times. Did I miss something?
In all fairness, I thought you had tied.
The gravesite with,
Yeah.
no, it was just.
She was just sharing her experience at the
at the gravesite.
happened to
Okay,
happen
okay.
at a.
Not that, like, it's more.
No.
prone to happen at
I
a-
think you
I
said
got
that though. Did you say they're more aggressive at a gravesite?
You definitely did.
No, I didn't.
I think you did.
I
think you did,
Okay,
too.
we're gonna have to run that back. I don't think I did.
I think you did.
I said I was at.
That's why our reactions
Maybe.
were so.
We
like,
need a guy
confused.
behind the camera.
I know.
So we can be like, Ted, can you play that back?
Ted. If your name's Ted and you want to, not a job because I can't pay you, but
Hey, Michael, the one viewer, you want to be the cameraman?
oh man, no, I fully thought you said something like they are more aggressive at a graveyard
They might.
or a gravesite.
It
it says that.
Did
like,
you look that up?
Yeah, I did. Deer are often tied to spiritual or symbolic meanings. Some cultures or folklore claim animals sense the beyond, leading to stories about odd behavior around graves.
Have you ever seen the videos of dogs like when their owner dies?
I don't.
And like they lay on the
don't-
grave.
No, that's too much for
Like
me.
they look.
I-
there was-
I would
have you
rather
seen
die.
them?
Yes.
So like I think the one I'm thinking was like at like I don't know if it was like Arlington, but it was like a soldier cemetery type thing. And his dog, like they brought his dog because like for like I guess like for closure,
Yeah.
like probably the scent if we're being honest, like to
Yeah.
realize, and like the dog's like literally like laying on the grave like crying like
I've seen that
like
exact video,
crying.
and I hated it.
It's really sad.
It is awful. The one of my most prevalent memories from my childhood literally the only commercial I will ever tell you I fully remember was the one about puppies where it's like, Indiana.
Oh yeah, with Sarah. Yeah,
I can't.
yeah.
I simply can't.
But then you see one about orphans, you're like, next.
Like, get out of here, little rascal.
I feel like it's true though. I feel like because there used to be a lot of commercials about, like the orphans in like Africa and stuff. At, like the same time that commercial was, but like you only heard about the dog one.
I won't lie. And this, it might not be great, but it hit harder. Okay. It affected me more clearly. I don't even remember that commercial.
like-
So
Oh no, I feel like people do tend to like be more about like
more
animal
sympathetic.
cruelty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder why? Wonder like what that is.
Like when I'm watching movies, it hurts more to watch a dog die than a person.
oh
My
no,
gosh,
for sure.
and I Am Legend.
Don't.
Marley and
know.
me killed me.
I
I cried.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
Have you? Oh, okay, so like the OG Airbud, OG, like the very first
You're
one.
not going to like what I have to say.
He hasn't seen
I've
it.
never seen it.
Gen Z, calm down. Have you seen
Everyone here hates me because I'm younger than them.
Okay, I have seen them, but I can't like specifically.
it? Okay, so the original one was like he finds this dog. It can shoot a basketball. So like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he wasn't. I can't remember. It's been a long time. Like I don't think he was like allowed to keep it, or it's like some things like he was trying to get it to, like to leave, and it kept going back to him because like he whatever.
Yeah.
And there's one scene like they're like on like a little basketball court somewhere, and he's like, "Leave, just leave." And he's like yelling at the dog, but like he's crying because like he loves the dog, but like he's not allowed to have him. Like yeah, I cried
Yeah.
on that one too.
I'm making a lot of noises.
You are
My bad.
no, but Marley and me, I cried, 100%.
Is that the one? I could be getting it mixed
Is
up.
that Owen Wilson in that one,
I don't know.
or did I make that up?
Is that the one where like the dog floats down the river? He's like
Huh?
on something, or am I thinking of a different movie?
I think that's Milo and Otis.
I was gonna say something about Otis.
Yeah.
That movie also.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think I've seen that one, actually.
That was the first movie I ever cried to.
What, Milo and Otis?
Yeah.
That's the first one you
It had-
ever cried to?
It had a good ending too. Like I think they found each other, but like just him floating down the river, I was like, he's so alone, and he's so scared, and no one is helping him. Why?
I
I'm
couldn't.
about to start crying.
I couldn't tell you what the first movie I cried to was.
Mine was Titanic.
I didn't even watch Titanic until I was an adult.
Same.
I was pretty young. Yeah. And it's the song.
I don't think that's a kid movie.
It's the song that
It's
gets
definitely
me
not a kid
every
movie.
time.
Hmm.
The song comes on and you're just like, okay.
Trying to think of the last movie I cried to.
That's a good question.
I don't really watch movies anymore. That's kind of the problem too.
Yeah. I feel it actually. I can tell you the last show I forced myself not to cry to.
What was it?
Ted Lasso.
Which scene?
Okay, so there's a scene. It was very sad and very emotional. All right, and I don't know why it hit me so hard. It was late at night. We watched Black Mirror not too long before that,
Okay.
and he went to England to be a coach till his like him and his wife were having difficulties and they were separate. Like she said she needed space.
Okay.
So then there was a scene where like came to visit him, and previously in the episode she was like saying how like she's just trying to make it feel the same way it used to felt when they first started dating and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as she was leaving to get back to America, he was just like looking at her and he's like, "You don't have to try anymore. It's okay." I can't explain why it made me feel that way, but I was like, "Dang,
Because in the show, he's such like a
He's such a
upbeat,
good-
like
he's
outgoing.
always happy."
Feels
Yeah.
like on a character.
Yeah.
Like okay.
And like he was crying during it, and I was like, "Ted, I'm so sorry, man."
I never watched it.
It's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
The last show I think I cried to was 13 Reasons Why.
I don't like that show.
I don't either.
Hate me if you want. I don't care.
I couldn't do it.
But do you not like it because it's too much?
I don't. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, the mom finding her, like,
the first season I was fine with. I liked the first.
Oh,
season.
I know what you're. I already know.
The bathroom
I-
scene.
Yep.
bathrooms.
Yep.
Far too much for me.
Very, yeah.
Yeah. No. I hate shows that are based on like books and then like they continue it on, and so it's kind of like at their will to make it whatever they want, and it
Yeah.
usually never goes well. But okay, so we dance all over conspiracies today and everything, but I think it's
But I think we should all say our favorite
conspiracy.
Yeah. What's everyone's favorite conspiracy?
Favorite in what sense?
Like the one that's most
I don't
I-
love any of them.
I
like
don't
what's
think I
most
have.
interesting to you? Mine's definitely the pyramids.
I've just started digging into like Tartaria, like the Tartaria, like
Yeah.
the mud flood and all that stuff,
That is interesting.
and like what's it called, like ethereal, like energy stuff. I don't know. Anyway,
I have it pulled up actually. It's
I know
like
we haven't really talked about it today, but probably the
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
oh, you know they actually figured out the reasoning behind that, like why it's such a weird area.
Village.
I don't remember
I
what
wasn't
it was.
gonna say it.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What they?
They're
what'd
always
they figure
leaving me out.
What they figure
He
out?
says he doesn't know.
I don't
Wait,
remember.
what's your favorite? Did you say?
Yeah, the pyramids.
Okay,
Just like why they were.
but that
built.
goes into like Tartaria and stuff too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's time we probably sign off here. It's been
Yeah.
Signing off.
an hour and 26 minutes.
Wait, we gotta come
All
up
right.
with a cool outro real quick.
Okay, we'll ignore that. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at tbp.pod. Find us on Spotify. Hopefully by the time this is posted, also Apple Podcast. And that's it. Thanks.
Bye.
Toodles.